Welcome to Thursday here in the Bacon Bunker. This is Big Bacon's Collection, and I'm your host, Big Bacon. Today we're going to be looking at the exclusive Falcon and Winter Soldier Infinity War 2-pack. Well, at least half of it. Today we're going to be looking at Falcon. So, as we always do, we're going to look at the accessories. We're going to look at the figure. We're going to check the articulation, and then we're going to put him on the shelf. Now this is a strange one because I can leave the wings on him and put him with the motor pool, with the other vehicle type things, I guess. Or I can leave the wings off and just kind of put him with the basic figures. I haven't decided, well, you know what? I have decided. I'm going to place him with my basic figures. But enough talking. Let's get on to the review. So, Falcon here comes with his flight pack. It's all cast in one color, which is this sort of semi-metallic gray color. The detailing sculpted into it is fairly nice, but these holes are kind of unsightly. Got a couple of pegs here, and that is for accessory number 2. Red Wing. Red Wing does detach from the backpack and can be used separately, but there's no flight stand. There's nothing to actually hold it up. So it just looks kind of weird sitting on the ground next to him. But with much work, much work, it does actually peg into the backpack. Now these giant holes here are for a very specific reason. And that is so that you can attach the wing system. Now the wings are well detailed. Amazing paint on them. In fact, looking at the wings, I have yet to, as far as I can tell, see any kind of real paint defects on them. And with both of them in there, it does create a fairly impressive wingspan. Look at that from the back. Now let's move on to the figure, shall we? So one thing that this Falcon has going for it that the other one does not is that the silver on this is the actual silver here and here. This is painted silver and not that cheap injection silver plastic. The gray covers most of the body. Sculpt-wise, I could see enough of Anthony Mackie to make it worthwhile. I do have a little bit of flash hanging there underneath the ear. The goggles are fairly accurate to how he looks. And if you look closely, he does have earbuds that run from the head, from the goggles down into the ears on both sides. So all in all, the head doesn't look bad. The body is mostly done in this sort of dark semi-metallic gray. You do have some silver and red paint details on it. For the most part, all of it looks fairly clean. Looking there inside the rib area, it does look like either the red went too far down or the silver isn't centered properly. I'm guessing on the latter. This side does look a whole lot cleaner. Shoulders, or I want to say the upper arms are also done in this gray. And then they painted the brown detail on. Now the red here, you can see it doesn't come all the way down under the pad. It's a little splotched here on this piece. Paint defect there. On the arms, this one doesn't come all the way over to where the stop point is, and it actually extends down, missing some space here. So the arms, not so great in the paint department. Gauntlets aren't looking terrible. A little bit of silver overspray. And then we've got fingerless gloves. Belt is molded on. Got a couple of pouches attached to it. Hides under the plating here in the back. Got silver painted buckling system. Pants are in this two-tone. It's glossy all the way up here. But then you've got like a semi-gloss on the thighs, as well as on the knee joints and the upper part of the lower legs. Now the knees look like they were actually done in that. Nope, these are painted. It's all done in the black down here, and then they've come through and painted over with the silvery gray color. And for the most part, the paint is on there pretty good. These are some amazing looking boots. Y'all know I love me some boots. So let's do some articulation, shall we? And this is what pisses me off more than anything. The character's in flight mode. He should be able to look forward, which he can partially do if you bend him back all the way, but he can't actually look where he's going. Looking down, he's got a little bit of down, a little bit up. Just the smallest amount of tilt. And his head does turn. The shoulders, for some reason, that's all the farther this one goes. I don't see what's impeding it. This arm does have a bit more range to it, but still nowhere near 90. Arm will rotate all the way around. There is a bicep cut, but with the way they've shaped the mold, it breaks that mold really badly whenever you use it. Double jointed elbow does provide for some amazing range. And then both hands have rotation at the wrist, and then they have horizontal hinges on both sides. Now, this one actually has an ab crunch, not just a waist break, and it will allow him to bend forward that far. That's all the farther this ab crunch goes, and it's because this front portion is catching on the bottom here in the middle. Leaning back, you get a little bit of back, but the same thing occurs back here. You do have a waist cut for rotation, but that makes an ugly sculpt break. Now the legs kick forward really well. Come out okay. Back virtually none. Mid thigh, you got a thigh cut for rotation. Double jointed knee does provide some really good range on there. There is no boot cut. There's no rotation at the ankle either, but it does hinge back that far, so at least flying, he does get a good straight leg look. It's just the head that really hinging forward. It hinges forward pretty well too. Front facing pin for rocker joint. So let's get him on the stand. Two things I would like to point out. First, we're going to attach the flight pack. The pack itself has two pegs in it that attach to a couple of holes in the back. Now, this is him with the wings. First off, it does throw off the balance on this thing a lot. And that mid-torso crunch is a little loose. So that's what he looks like with the wings. Now, I've already said I will not be using the wings in the display, so... And as I said, there are the two pegs and the two holes in the back. So we're just going to pop the wings off. And you might be thinking, whoa, why, oh, why? This is what he looks like with just the closed wings, without the attachments. That's his pack. Why won't you put the wings on the vehicle shelf? Well, I'm going to show you why. This is the right wing that comes with this one. The Disney Plus Wave Falcon and the Winter Soldier series flight gear. This is that one. Lengthwise, they're pretty, I mean, yeah, the Disney one is definitely longer. Definitely wider. But one thing it has that the other one doesn't have, an articulated wing. So this will be on my vehicle display shelf, if I ever complete it. I have both wings. I have yet to find Loki. And Loki has the actual pack I need to attach to this, as well as the flight stand to hold it up. But it'll happen. Now, that being said, why don't we go ahead and take this figure, get him up here on my shelf. Oh, look at that. He gets to go right up there next to Cap. Isn't that fitting? So, thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell, and I'll see y'all next time.